Okay, good morning once again, esteemed participants. We are now 55. Okay, we're now 55, so we can go ahead. My name is Bissy Roland from the Post-Service Department, Office of the Head of Service, and I welcome our esteemed participants, the members of the Association of Lagos State Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries that are present, our distinguished retirees, and 7 officers who have joined us this morning. I welcome you on behalf of the Head of Service, Mr. Abode Agoro, and the Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office, Mrs. Sukomi Oyegbola, to another interesting webinar session. We have with us a seasoned facilitator who would enlighten us on the topic Smart Money Management for Retirees, a practical guide to financial security. But before we start, I would implore us all to please listen attentively. We take notes and ask our questions during the question and answer sessions. And please kindly contribute to when we start. And you can put your questions in the chat box or raise your hands and you'll be called upon. So like I said, we have in the house with us a seasoned facilitator, Lara Garuba. She's also known as Coach Lara. She's a lawyer, a project management professional, an independent consultant and financial literacy advocate with over 20 years of professional experience. She has built a successful career in the financial services industry, working with First City Monument Bank, that's FCMB, Heritage Bank, and Standard Chartered Bank before transitioning into consulting and entrepreneurship. She's the founder of Women, Wealth and Wills Network and the Chief Executive Officer of Global Mentoring Club, where she has empowered hundreds of professionals, entrepreneurs, women, and retirees through practical financial education. Coach Lara specializes in retirement planning, wealth creation, investing, and legacy planning, translating complex financial concepts into practical strategies that help individuals build, protect, and transfer wealth with confidence. Her engaging and relatable approach inspires audiences to make informed financial decisions and achieve lasting financial security. Good morning. Okay, you can unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, Mrs. Roland.
Good morning. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Okay. So you can go ahead, please. The floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, Saz and Maz. I'm excited to be here because this is what I do now. And over the years, I've done a lot of portfolio management after I practiced law for a few years. Okay, so you are in the right room, and I can say that you're in good hands. Okay, so as we have all started, we are going to talk about smart money management for retirees. But I'm going to start with a story, and that story is my mother's story. Okay, so my mom had worked in an educational system as a teacher, headmistress of several schools, public schools in Ibadan City. And then she did that for 35 years. So there's something called gratitude they get in bulk. And then later she was getting kind of pension every month. Okay. So when she started and it was 35 years, she said it was just time for her to retire and to go. So we did a retirement party, made noise, went for Thanksgiving and all that. So she just told herself that she wanted to start a business that she has been teaching all her life. School business will be a walkover for her. And so she had a land somewhere and she tried to develop it and then rented the place and started a school, a nursery and primary school. Children were coming in and all of that. And then, because of the kind of person she is, when parents come and cry, Mommy, we don't have money for school fees. Say, don't worry, let them stay. Mommy, we will pay next year. Don't worry, stay. And then she was practically paying teachers with her own small pension, salary. There was overhead of light. There was overhead of water. There was a lot of overhead that she was struggling to pay. At some time, we
Títẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀
now
ńkọ́?
we now have to start supporting her as our kids to run the school. But it wasn't sustainable. We had to shut the school down. Why am I saying this? I'm saying that retirement is a beautiful thing. It is a very big, in fact, I told myself I was going to retire at 50. By the time I became 50, I said, it's not looking like that too. So she did that, but there was something lacking, which is business, running a business, the knowledge of running a business. She thought that at 35 years of working in a structured environment in the educational system was good enough for her to start a school. So we'll come back to our story, and then I will tell you reasons why the steps you take after retirement actually determines the kind of life you live after. Okay, so that's our story, and we'll come back to that story. So this morning, I'll go straight to the agenda, and then let's see how far we can go. While I'm seeing a lot of people saying good morning, I want to say good morning as well. You can keep chatting in the box. If you have questions, you can drop it in the box, or when there is time for questions. But I ask that you drop it so that you don't forget when it's time for questions. Thank you so much. Madam Rona, can you scroll to today's agenda so that we have an idea of what we are going to talk about today? Retirement realities is number 1. Budgeting, income planning, investing, inflation, healthcare, fraud prevention, estate planning, and I'm going to give us all a 90-day action plan. That's my usual style because I believe that talk is cheap. We can keep talking and talking and talking, and no impact is done. So that's why I always put an action plan. And I want to carry everyone, I want to let us know today that as I speak, I would like us to also be part of the whole discussion because there's no monopoly of knowledge. I have vast experience, but I'm sure there are people that are more experienced than I am in the room that can also share their experience when there is time to do so. So let's just go straight to the retirement reality. The reality, apart from the fact that there is life expectancy of 55 years on record in Nigeria, people are living longer. And so if you retire at 60 or 70 and you think that I just have 20 years, so this money I have will be enough for 20 years, you might be shocked you'll be 120. And then the question is, what was your plan for old age? What was your plan for retirement? So surprisingly, a lot of people are living longer. That's the reality of today. So we have to make serious plan about how we want to live. Then inflation is actually reducing purchasing power. Imagine what we were buying a few years ago at maybe 1,000 naira. Some of it at 6,000, 7,000 naira. How do we know what it will be 5 years more? We keep saying, God forbid, God will do a miracle. Yes, but we have a path to plan. And the healthcare costs increase with age. If you have ever done an health insurance, you will know that the certain questions they ask, they will normally not ask somebody that is 20 years old, somebody that is 30. They ask questions about your age, if there is any internal issue, any disease in the family. They ask those kind of questions because at the age that you are, insurance will be more expensive than when you were younger. So that's the reality. And we need to know that that is what it is. And then we will now have to work towards it, which is possible. Because I know that with the numbers of clients that I work with, strategy is the game in retirement planning. If you have a strategy and you follow through, you will enjoy your retirement. In fact, your kids will even ask you that, Mommy, we're not even sending you anything. And you are really looking well, you are living well. Okay? The next slide, I want to be your football referee here. So if you have a pen and paper, just look at the financial health scorecard. Here, I listed 7 things. There are more than this, but I just listed 7 things. This is what I want us to do with these 7 things. How many of these things do you currently are comfortable that you have? Do you work with budget? Do you have an emergency fund? Emergency fund meaning that you have an account where you just put money in. There's no checkbook. There's no ATM card. There's no app for it. There's no reason for you to take money from it. In fact, you have had it for a number of months and years. You have various investments in stock, treasury bills, FGM bond, mutual fund, and all those things. We'll talk about those investment instruments as well. You have savings, wills, other business, and you have healthcare plan. So if you have at least 5 of these above, I will give you a green card. If you have between 3 to 5, I'll give you a yellow card. If you have less than 3, that's a red card. So this is an exercise I want you to do now. And you put it in the chat box. What number are you? Or you tell me if you already have a red card already or you have a yellow card. Because this is actually the crux of the whole session today. Imagine you go to a doctor and you want to check your health. This is how we do it in financial services. Are these things in place? How many people have done this? If you are 5 and above, let me see your mark. Oh my. Yeah, no, please don't give yourself red card yet. Oh, I can see red card all over the place. Okay, I have a yellow card. That's good. That's good. Okay, somebody else have a yellow card. Okay. Okay. Ma, don't give yourself red card though. Sir, don't give your red card. So depending on where you are now, at the end of the session, by the time I take you through all of this, we will now see that we can all have a green card. That's the truth. Oh, fantastic. Somebody has a green card. I have 5 of this. Fantastic. I have 6. Oh, that's good. So I'm not doing this to malign anyone. It's just for us to have a quick reality of where we are. And then with this session, our eyes will open to where we can be and live the good life. Good, good. I'm saying green card. That's good. Yellow card. Someone say better not to do myself. Don't worry, man. Sir, everything will be all right. So I'm happy that we can rate ourselves. Okay. I see somebody raising hand. Okay, let me just go to that state where we'll be able to ask questions. So I'm happy that we can rate ourselves whether we are 5 and above is green, 4 to 3, 5 to 3 is yellow, and then 3 below, 3 to 1 is red. Okay, so all that thoughts, and then let's go straight to the next slide. Okay, so here, the next slide is showing us that now that we know the reality, what are the things we should avoid and the things that we should do? Okay, I don't know if, please, can you move to the next slide? Or I should just use my own. So what are the mistakes that we need to avoid to enjoy the kind of realities that exist for retirement? Yes. Money mistakes 1 to 5. Please, can you scroll to next slide? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Can we all see this slide? Are we seeing money mistakes 1 to 5? Or am I the only one saying something else? Is Mrs. Roland still here? Okay. Hello?
We can see it.
You can see money mistake. Okay. So
Mm.
number one, I just pulled out some mistakes that we make based on my experience with my clients, based on my banking experience, and even based on my legal experience. Because there
Sorry,
are
we
cases.
can't see it.
Okay.
Still the financial health scorecard.
Okay. Thank you, ma. Let me call Mrs. Roland. I wish I can control the screen from here. Please, can you help me? Let me give her a call. Mrs. Roland, can you help me scroll to the next slide?
We can see now.
We can see money mistakes 1 to 5.
No.
It's still showing financial health scorecard, please. No, please.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Let me just call her. I can't control the slide here. If not, I would have done it here. Just give me a minute, man. Okay, thank you very much. Can we all see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so these money mistakes, they are not just things I just put up because there's that. So the background number one is my experience with clients that I do retirement planning for and financial planning for. Number two is from my banking experience and research that I've done, and even from my legal experience. So there are things that happen every day that we need to guide against. Number one, you spend your gratitude too quickly. So there is that bulk money that comes to you when you retire. And the first thing you do is, oh, I already have a plan for it. Please, if you are still in that phase where you're about to collect your own, then perfect. In fact, I will implore you to leave it in the bank for the next 30 days. Sit down and think through what you can do with that money. And the first thing I tell my clients to do is to put it in a fund that is not tax based. Normally, they should have put it in a fixed deposit, but because of the tax involved, I normally say put it in a treasury bills because there is absolutely no risk. The only risk is if the federal government that issues it does not exist again. But so far, we have not experienced that. So there is no risk because there are two kinds of investment. There are investments that are high returns and high risk. There are investments that are low returns and low risk. So I always advise retirees, you have gotten to that stage of life, it's not time to be making decisions that are too risky. So put it in a treasury bills and go and plan. So don't just say, oh, I have a building that I want to complete. No, 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 no. It's not time. Think of it. Number two, depending only on pension. So there is now that wave of everybody must have a second source of income, or a third, or a fourth, or a fifth, which is possible. However, it's not everybody that can sell and buy. It's not everybody can do entrepreneurship. But there are other ways actually that you can have other streams of income. We'll talk about that, but I will still mention it. Ways like lecturing. I lecture, I'm just 51, but I lecture as part-time in schools here and schools abroad. We have accumulated a lot of experience and knowledge that should not be wasted. Lecturing, mentoring, consulting, things that can help you speak. But people that have the energy for entrepreneurship, fine. Find another streams of income. Then ignoring inflation. When you ignore inflation, that means that you think that the money that you have can sustain you. No, it cannot. You have to find a solution to that. Number 4 is chasing unrealistic returns. This is very crucial. I've had a lot of stories of scam, other people, people will call you and say your daughter is in this place. Apparently, they now have information about your kids, and they know that that's the only emotional thing that can use to get you. It needs you to transfer. I'm sure some people here have gotten that kind of mail of transfer this money, and then you did not verify. Hey, my daughter, let me just send the money. These people are out there. They already know that you are retired. They already know that you have soft spot for your children. They use that. The other set of people are people that say, put your money here. In 6 months, you get 1,000%. That's an exaggeration, but they tell you 200%, 100%. And because you are so eager to make more money, you put your money there. So I will always say, when an interest is too good to be true, maybe it's true that it's actually too good to be true. Right now, based on investment instruments, stocks, and all that, the highest you can get is 20%. And that 20% is going to come from commercial papers. Other investments, 17, 16. If you do stocks, of course, you can get 70, 80. But stock is a very risky venture. If you are ready to go for it, then you should be ready to also be exposed to the risk of the market. Okay? So once you start hearing, please, 30%, 40%, 50%, you can even say, I've collected twice now. What's she saying? You never know. It might be the third time. It will go sour. Or somebody has collected twice. It might be when you want to enter to go sour. So be wary of unrealistic returns, please. Then lending without a plan. I used to laugh that. How can you be a retiree and you be lending people money? How? I will not even lend my child money because you will not repay. Let me just give you the money I can give you. I know that I've given you. It's not the time to lend people money. It's not at all. Once you see that you are retired, just cross it out of your mind. It's not the time to borrow people money at all. Forget it. You don't have that energy. You are at that place in your life where enjoyment is what you are supposed to be enjoying. Just enjoy your life. Whatever enjoyment means to you. Whether enjoyment means eating fruit every day, get it done. Whether enjoyment means traveling abroad, get it done. That is where the stage you are. So all these mistakes, we have to avoid it. Then mistake 6 to 10. Let me quickly go through that. That 6 to 10 is just also talking about the kind of things that we have gone through as retirees. Or if you are not yet a retired person, then you should avoid it. So no healthcare reserve. Fortunately, and the good news is that insurance now has started giving healthcare services to individuals. Before, you must be working in a company, then the company will sign up for you and all that. They started giving individuals because that's the first thing I did when I left active service in code. I went straight to do an insurance plan for myself and then for my family. That's the first thing because I was just like, no, that's the cheapest way of getting things done. Because if you go to a typical hospital today, whether general or private, they'll first of all collect a consulting fee, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, depending on the hospital, before they even say this is what is wrong with you, this is what you should go and treat. But health insurance will cover that. You have the likes of Ansa Massad, Reliance, even government. I hear that Lagos State government has one. Please sign up for it. Don't say, I will not be sick in Jesus' name. Please just sign up for it and be okay. Okay? Then estate planning. So this is a very sensitive thing. When you talk about will and estate planning, people cringe and say, no, I don't want to do any will. What do I have? There's a school of thought that say, what do I have? There's a school of thought that say, please, I'm young, Madam Garuba, don't go that route. There's a third school of thought that is just afraid. And then when you talk about will, they think it's debt. No, will is just you putting all the assets that you have in a document and clarifying who should take what when you are gone. That's just the as simple as it is. Somebody says it's always simple for lawyers because they know what they are talking about, but it's as simple as that. Nevertheless, for the people that say that I don't have anything, the moment you have an asset means land, jewelry, investment instruments that yields for you, you should put it down in a document and clarify who you want to own it. Put all your assets, document all your assets. Please, it's very important. A lot of families are suffering today because they are not able to distribute their late father, late mother assets. And you know, all those assets are just rotting away. And then the question is, okay, you didn't distribute it, so who is now using it? I have seen clients that say, no, I'm not going to write a will. Let them go, let my children go and sort themselves. I'm going to spend all my money while I'm alive. Okay, it's okay if that's what you want. But do you know when the time will come? You never can tell whether you still have money somewhere. And a lot of banks, I'm sorry to say this, a lot of banks are really sleeping on people's money because those account holders never told their family they have those kind of accounts. And they die just like that, and the money is there. Okay, so let's do an estate plan. An estate plan is very important. My grandfather died in 1985, and he died with a will. Yes, a will that was executed without fights because he knew he had 3 wives, and so and he wrote a will. So writing a will is not, oh, it's 2026 issue. It's not. They're falling for scams. I think I've talked about that. Then no annual review. Every year, at the end of the year, I ask for my statement for the year and I sit down with it. That's what I do. I look at the credit, I look at the debits. I look at the things that took my money for 1 year and I plan for another year. I actually do it every 6 months, but for people that are starting, it's something you should do. So you understand where your money is actually going, because we spend a lot every day and you feel that sometimes you'll be shocked where your money goes. So you can now work towards reducing those things or adding more income to what you already have. Then no professional advice. Please stop taking advice of forwarded messages, WhatsApp messages. There's an investment. The church is doing it. Please look for financial advice from professionals like me and other people that have been in the system. You can even look for professional advice from your account officer. You only need to ask. They will help you and explain how you should go. That's about all the mistakes. And I'm sure that some of us have made that mistake in the past, but good thing that we are here. We will not make those kind of mistakes again. I'm seeing a lot of questions. I don't know whether I should take them now, but let me just take a few more points before we take the questions. Now, the next slide is saying building a retirement budget. That's straightforward if you ask me. But if it's not, you can also ask your question. We already know needs and wants. I'm not going to talk about that. We talked about an annual review. We talked about emergency fund. We talked about cash flow tracking. From annual review, you can actually track your cash flow. Okay, so that's already sorted. Okay, the next one is creating other income. The next one is creating other income, other business income. Hello, I think I lost. Okay, other streams of income. Dividends, pension, we already have that. It's also a source of income. Now, yes, I need to note that now the pension fund is starting what we call personal retirement savings. It is a long request that have been pending, and I hear that it has been approved. So apart from the fact that you are also maybe you're in service and some kind of money is being deducted from your salary, now you can also put a standing instruction on 10,000, 20,000 every month into your pension account. Then dividends. The next thing is dividends. I don't know how many people have stocks or mutual funds here. You buy shares and you collect dividends. I know clients who live on their dividends. Yes, because over the years, they have bought enough shares, and that dividends is paying their rent and paying their children's school fees, which is fantastic. So dividend can be a source of income. Rental income is when you have a property. I believe a lot of people have properties here that are enjoying their rent from, and that's a good thing. Consulting is what we can do. In fact, I believe that when you are retired, you have gained so much experience that you should be able to consult for companies and then young businesses. They really need guidance, and they'll pay. Okay, they'll pay you money because I am in that field and I know that it works. Small business, if you have the stamina for small business, why not? Maybe you're just selling. But one thing about small business that I believe is just pick one thing and focus on it. That one thing that you know is essential, that whether you are poor, you are rich, people will buy, whether it's food, it's water, bottled water, something. Pick one thing. You can even pick a good distributorship. So you're not starting afresh. You are just a distributor of a certain business, and then you are able to do that. That's about small business. And the investment instrument, there are several of them. That's very easy to do. And then those ones you can easily look at your investment every day. And with the help of a professional guide, you are able to gain money from your investment. A lot of people made money from stocks this year so far. Even in most times, beginning of the year, like the first quarter of the year, is the best time to actually make a lot of money from stock. When the prices fall, then you buy more. It's not the time to now panic. Okay, that's the session for another day. I also teach stock trading for investors, but you have to always check your profile. Your risk profile means that, can I stomach a huge loss? What percentage of loss can I stomach? That will now define the kind of stocks you should be investing in. Okay, but for people who are just want to do general one, I always advise them that look at the big 30. There's something called big 30 in the stock market. The big 30 are those companies who have been verified over the years and they are built businesses more than 2 decades. You can actually invest in them and go and sleep because they are in it for a long time. So those are the stocks that I always recommend first to beginners to say, go and invest in any of the big 30 and you are sure that everything will be fine. So that's basically about other income streams. You can even lecture. Write to any university. They're looking for older people who have experience. They pay you something, you go twice a week. Fantastic. You're even happy because you are even current. Students ask you questions and then get paid for it. That's it. So let's quickly go to estate and legacy. Let me see if I've not really, okay, we talked about will, organized financial, we talked about that. Audience activity. So I want to give us an activity before we do question and answer. Remember that there was a slide that was showing us whether we have yellow card, green card, and all of that. Okay. So that slide, I will now want to give us an activity. We are in July, August, September. I want you to pick 2 things that you don't have or one thing that you don't have and make sure that you do it. Are we together? 2 things at least, but for people that have only one thing, pick one thing that you don't have there and make sure you get it done. So I can only speak to it. I may not be able to follow you through and track with you and be your accountability partner to say, have you done this? Have you done this? So it's actually in your court to do that. But I'll give you to September and I'm hoping that you will be able to do that. So that should be part of your financial goal and which you must achieve within the next 90 days. Are we committing to that? Are we committing to, if you don't have investment, are you committing to starting? If you don't have will, are you committing to doing that? If you don't have life insurance, yes, fantastic. Somebody just said budget and emergency fund. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Commit to do that because that's the essence of webinars and trainings that, okay, what did I even get from this? Commit to do that in the next 90 days, and then make sure that you are able to achieve these things from this session. Okay? So I'll quickly, first of all, take questions from the chat box. Okay. I'm trying to scroll. There's a lot of questions that has passed. I don't know whether the moderator can see them. Let me check again.
Okay, you're done with the presentation, right?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh, who is this? Yeah, thank you, Mom. Thank you, everyone, for still being on. And it's time for our question and answer session. The presentation has been quite
Hello? Hello?
okay, sorry about that, please. So now we are in our question and answer session. And like she said, we have some questions in the chat box. But someone has been raising her hand since, Mom Edema. Madam, please, can you go ahead and ask your question or your contribution? Mom Edema. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. When she's ready, she'll come on. Someone is asking for more clarification on will.
Should we take
Yes.
questions one by one?
Yes. Let's take them one by one.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the exact clarification is, but I'll just give a brief. A will is just a document that you need to sit down with a lawyer and a witness. A witness is a trusted friend that will not let another person know, and distribute your assets. Distribute all your assets to your beneficiaries. So your beneficiary can be your children, can be your family member. In fact, some people have also listed their company or a charity organization as beneficiary. So you list it, the witness signs, you sign, the lawyer keeps it in the probate, there's money paid, and that is it. That's basically what is done. Okay. And then when you are no more, of course, they do what they need to do. The reason for those things we already know. Well-drafted will just makes life easy for your beneficiary when you're no longer. So that's basically it. But if there's a specific issue that the person wants, let me know.
Okay, all right. Just for a clarification, treasury bills, are they taxed now?
No. I was saying that initially I used to tell retirees to put their money in fixed deposit so that they get something every month. But because of the tax, I think that's why I mentioned tax. Treasury bills is tax-free.
Okay, treasury bills is tax-free. All right. Okay, another person, Joseph Osho. I'm sorry if that pronunciation is wrong. He says, while agreeing with you on the need to invest in tax-free mutual funds, don't you think investing in real estate could be better? Because you advised against completing your building. I hope you got that.
Okay, so what I said about that is, if you have a gratitude, let me rephrase my statement. If I made a mistake, forgive me. If you have a bulk money, I don't want you to take a decision immediately you get the money. Because in my experience, people have made blunders with that money. If you have a gratitude and it's bulk money, sleep on it for 30 days. Write out all the things that you need to do. Prioritize them. Priority means if I don't do this, I may die. If I do this, so if there is no very strong priority on some, let them rest first. So if you think that the building you want to complete is going to make you stop paying rent, why not? But the truth is that you need to do a lot of calculation because of the current inflation. Some of us are not current. We still think that cement is 1,000. It's not anymore. So a lot of calculation has to go into it. And then you can gradually complete the building. So my point there is actually don't rush into anything once you have a bulk money. Sleep over it. Plan, write things down, all the things you need to do with that money. Then prioritize the first 3, the first 5 before you do that.
Okay, I think you've answered the next one I wanted to say because person asking about time value of money.
Okay.
Okay. Can any lawyer help in the will documents, or are there professionals for will writing?
Any lawyer can do that. We were all trained to do that.
Okay. The percentage is like it's scary. Still a secret thing, or can one tell his or her children and spell out and tell them that they have a will?
Okay, so I've had clients who say that they're afraid of their children. I'm sorry, but that's the experience I've had. So they don't divulge. But if you think that you can tell your children, then you don't even need to write a will. Okay, save them the horrors. This house in Ikoyi belongs to you. This one in a, write it and sign it and give it to them so that when you go, they know what belongs to them. However, if you think that you are not safe to do that, please write a will and keep it secret with your lawyer and your witness.
Okay. How do you access bonds, federal government bonds?
Okay, so there are certain banks that offer it, not all banks. So you can speak to, I know UBA does, Standard Chartered does, Stanbic IBTC does. AfriInvest is a financial service owner, they're not a bank. Meristem does, Cardinal Stone does. So there are certain of them that offer it. So there are 2 kinds of bond. There's federal savings bond and there is the regular bond. The savings bond gives you payment every quarter. And then you get anything you need to get after 3 years or 2 years, depending on the age of the bond. And then the normal bond gives you interest or coupon, as we call it, twice a year. So any of your banks can do that, like I named them. There is one that is out now. There is a July bond, so you can still get involved in that. So once you approach them, they give you a form to fill. You put in the money you're supposed to put, then you start getting paid every quarter for savings. For the regular bond, every 6 months. Yes, so you can approach if your banks is one of the ones I listed. Not all banks offer bond.
Okay, what if the witness dies before you? I guess you just change the witness. But please
Okay,
answer the question.
so you can change the witness because there are about three lines of people, except they all die in a plane crash anyway. So there's the witness, there is the lawyer, and there is the probate office. So there will always be people in the probate office. When somebody leaves, another person takes place. So whichever, even if the lawyer dies, then there's something you can do. So if he's a witness, you can always get another witness and then update the document. Some people forget. Update the document.
All right, thank you. So let's just go to some of the participants who have raised their hands for a while. Madam Omolabake Bahirudin, can you please unmute and ask your question or your contribution?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the lecture, ma. My question is on this financial health score that you said we should rate ourselves. The first one being a budget. I want to really understand, what do you mean by budget? I know that we have budget for things, but for retirement, financial something. How do we budget for it?
Okay, good question, ma. Thank you so much for asking. So, there's an income you get right now, I believe so. Whatever that income is, if you can live within it, is fantastic. So what that means is, what are the main priorities that you live on? So you don't live on buying a bag, for example. You don't live on buying a shobi, for example. But things like rent, if you're still paying child school fees, they should be your priority. Food is a priority. So you prioritize everything you do every month. And then you make sure that you focus on those things. Anything that comes into your life that month that is not as important as those things, please close your eyes and forget it. I'm sorry, it's as hard as that. Budgeting is a very difficult thing to do, especially in a country like ours where there are unexpected things and all of that. But you have to prioritize the things that you do, the bills that you pay every month, and focus on the ones that your life depends on. For example, food, water, rent, and all of that, they're very important. But when you start seeing that, hello, mommy, Omolagbaja sọ pé kinní kan, I need 50,000. Please, there's no Omolagbaja. Please follow your budget. Omolagbaja will be fine. God will take care of everybody. Okay, so that's what I mean by budgeting. I hope I explained correctly.
Okay, can you please mention the banks that you said?
Okay, UBA does, Standard Chartered does, Stanbic IBTC. Then there are other asset management companies like Afri Invest. Afri Invest has been around for 3 decades, so you can rest your mind. Meristem, Cardinal Stone. So these companies I mentioned are companies that have been in business for over 2 decades, and they have a physical office. So I don't just rate because there's so many stuff out there. So those are the ones that I know currently that sells bonds. Let me go over it again. UBA, Standard Chartered Bank, Stanbic IBTC Bank, the other asset management companies, Afri Invest, Cardinal Stone, and Meristem.
Okay, because I'm writing it down too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's the best financial instrument investment that will give you high interest, low or minimum risk?
Okay, so there's a mix of that question. There is
Okay.
no investment that gives you high interest that doesn't come with high risk. If you have to cram it, please do. High returns, high risk. They go together. Low returns, low risk. That's how they go to. So the investment that in the bucket of high returns, high risk are stocks, shares is number one. And then some other hedge fund. We don't really do a lot of that. It's only very high net worth people that do hedge funds. Hedge funds are funds that it's actually your fund manager that determines what they see in the market. So today you can put all your money and then all drops, or you can wait for it to grow. Then the low returns with low interest are treasury bills, FGM bond, mutual funds, money market. Some people also call it money market. Those are the ones. So whenever you want high returns, just be ready for high risk. You cannot have high returns and low risk. That's not the way it works in investment. High returns go with high risk, low returns go with low risk.
Okay, there's this lady, Oye Funsho Orenuga. I don't know, she keeps writing that bonds are taxed. So I don't know, maybe we should just call on her to, maybe she was taxed or something. I don't know. Do you
And bond is
understand?
taxed. It's treasury bills that is not taxed. Bond is taxed.
Oh, okay. Maybe she's mixing them up.
Please,
All right, so bonds
let-
are
I'm
taxed.
here, please. Let me say
Okay,
something.
ma. Please
Okay,
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Good
ma.
ma'am.
morning. Good morning,
Good
and
morning,
thank
ma.
you very much for this informative session. I was just texting my person in charge of my bond,
Okay.
and he was telling me that they do not tax
FGM bonds, but I've been taxed since January this year. So when you mentioned that they do not tax the FGM bond, I sent a message to her and she said, no, they do not tax it. So I don't know what is happening.
Okay, so after the tax orientation, a lot has happened. Even stocks are now taxed now. But before now, treasury bills, bond is taxed. I don't know. Maybe okay, so there's a way. I think there are two kinds of bonds. I'll have to verify that. Savings bond and the regular bond. Either one of them is taxed. So I'll verify that before we leave here.
Okay, thank you. Mine is a savings bond.
Did you ever get any tax on your savings bond?
Yes. Before it was no. But since this tax regulation and everything by FGM, they started taxing 10% of the interest.
Of the interest?
Yes. I get the interest every 3 months.
Yes, every quarter. A lot has happened since the tax, but it's actually designed to be tax-free. Maybe it's something we need to look at. Which bank are you doing it with?
UBA.
Okay. It's something you need to ask again because naturally, before now, I do not know whether it is now part of the new reform. Bond treasury bills are tax-free. Even stock was tax-free. But stocks is now being taxed. All the dividends you get on stocks will be taxed. If you sell your tax, if you sell your stock, it will be taxed. If you buy it will be taxed. So that's just different. But we'll verify and get back to you now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Which companies are the big 30? Well, I know you can't list all the 30, but
Okay, let me give you an idea. So there are 5 sectors that I will put it. There are more than 5 sectors. There is financial service sector, there is telecommunication, hospitality, oil and gas, and there is industry. For financial services, the likes of Zenith, GT Bank are in that category. For telecoms, MTN, Airtel are in that category. For oil and gas, Seplat, Total, Oando are in that category. For industries, you see the likes of Presco, which is agriculture, the likes of Nestle, FMCG, and all of that, they're in that category. But I can be nice enough and send the list to Mrs. Roland so that we can use that as a guide. I hope that's okay with you.
okay, all right, you can do that. So
Okay.
once she sends it, I'll send it to the retirees platform.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you. Okay, you've explained the risk, high and low risk profiles. Okay. Does someone with a child need a will? Okay, with just a child. Oh, okay. I think if you have just one child.
As long as you have a beneficiary, do you want your things to go to your child? That's the question. So you need a will if you want your asset to go to your child, whether it's one child or 2 children or 3 children. People that don't have children also write will. So as at the time I was single, my first will I wrote at 21. I was not married. I had written beneficiaries for it. I didn't have a child or anything. So it's not about I have a child, I have 1 or 2. So it depends on where you want your asset to go.
Okay, I think this is just a contribution, but you can please verify it. Treasury bills are discounted, but when your capital is being paid, it attracts VAT and withholding tax.
Okay, let me explain what people don't even explain. So that's a lot. Okay, let me try and see if I can summarize this. So bond and treasury bills, they're similar. If you buy a bond, we call it at a discount. Apart from the returns you make money on your principal, the initial money you put in. If you buy a bond at a premium means you already bought the bond when it's expensive. There's so many deductions you will see, then you think it's tax. Apart from the fact that now we are hearing that there's tax on it. So when I say premium, expensive, it means every bond comes at 100 naira or $100. At a premium means that if the bond is 110, it's already expensive, 120. So when you go in, you're already going it at 120 naira per bond, and you put 12 million, for example. At the end of the bond, after all your returns have been paid, your 12 million will be less that premium that you paid, that you got into. So it will be less that. So people just don't bother about because their returns for them has made up for it. But if you buy a bond below 100 naira, like 95 naira, 90 naira, 80 naira, you are buying at a discount, which I always advise clients to buy bond at. Many people don't ask those questions. They just there's bond, there's 17%, they just put their money and they face down and go ahead. So when you buy at a discount, with your 12 million naira, by the time it's maturity, in addition to the returns you've been getting every quarter, you'll be getting your 12 million naira plus the difference between the 90 naira and 100 naira. So it depends on when you come into it. So you get charges at the end because you already bought at a premium, which is already expensive. So that's how it works.
All right, thank you. How do you do family health insurance?
Okay, so you approach any of these insurance. I hear Lagos State has one, which is very accessible, and they have a list of hospitals under them. So for AXA, okay, let me give my own example. For AXA Mansard has bronze, gold, and platinum, and they have the hospitals under them all over Lagos, all over Nigeria. So wherever you stay, maybe you have a choice of hospital you want. Look, they will send you a list once you approach any of those health insurance. They will send you a list. Look for the hospital that you want. Whatever is placed there, maybe it's good, then you say, okay, you're paying 500,000 for the year, or 200,000 for the year, or 1 million for the year, depending on the number of people you are insuring. For me, we are 4 under my insurance scheme. So all of us, we pay about 1 point something because we have chose the premium, and the premium means that it covers a lot of diseases. It covers even one access to an international medical service. Okay, so it depends on what it covers. That depends on the charge. So you can walk up to AXA Master, you can walk up to Reliance, you can walk up to Avon. Which other one? And I think Lagos State has NH something. I can't remember what it is now. That's also affordable. They'll send you the list of the hospital and the prices attached, and they'll ask you how many people do you want it to cover. Once you say the number of people, they will all fill a form depending on their age, and they will also tell you the kind of medical services that plan will cover for you. So if you want your plan to cover much more, maybe including ambulance or all those things extra, then you might be paying much more. But the basic ones are very affordable. I always encourage people who still have younger children to go for insurance, because children get sick in and out, and then you don't want to be going to the hospital when you don't have money. You're even afraid to go because there's no money to go. But once you have an insurance, you walk in, they treat the child, and the insurance pays.
All right, someone is asking how much a lawyer costs. So maybe you can.
It depends on what you want to do, ma, Bisa. It depends. It depends. And then it depends on what you want to do. And the good thing is that we are all trained the same. It's just that experience differs. So a young lawyer can also do a will for you. We can do. I always say so there are three people you should need in your life: a lawyer, a banker, and a doctor. And for me, I've taken two out of it, so I'm a good person to approach. But nevertheless, I can't say this how much, but you know what? It depends on the service really you want to do.
Anyway, I've put your contacts in the chat box.
Okay,
So everyone, her number is on the chat box, but I'll read it out again. 080-234-08030. I'll take
Okay,
that
can you
again.
can you
Oh,
share
okay.
the last slide? Because share the last slide, please. Okay, so there are two things.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I can support it. There are two things. I would rather like an email or a text message. I will not lie to you. Don't let it be like, that woman was very nice on the phone. She's not picking my call. I can be extremely busy, not because I'm trying to say don't call me, but please send a message or a WhatsApp or an email. You will definitely get a response in time.
Another question. Does the federal government bond come up, or is it available some particular months during the year or throughout the year?
Yes, it's particular months, and it's not something we can track really. It comes up, we get an email that the bond is coming up, because this is the way bond work. Bond is whenever federal government has a need, they release bond. So they need money, they mop up fund from the citizens through bond, and they pay them interest. So if there's no need, there may never be a bond in a whole year. So it depends on the need. But there is one now that just came out in July, that's savings bond. So look out for it. You should still be able to invest. Yes.
How can one invest in mutual funds? And is there a particular amount you start with?
Mutual funds can start with as low as 5,000. And then your interest drops daily, even as small as it is. And well, the best bank I know is Stanbic IBTC for mutual funds. They have proven themselves over the years. You can start with 5,000. Any branch around you, just walk into the place. You can start mutual funds.
All right.
And then I also want to say, because somebody just sent a message to me now, stocks and all of this, you can start with 5,000. So don't start thinking that you need 1,000,000. You can start with 5,000. But the good thing is that please start. Don't let's keep procrastinating. We invest tomorrow. Just start.
All right. I'm not sure if you've taken this. What's the difference between bond and mutual funds or mutual
Okay.
trust? Are they the same?
Okay. So bonds, like I said, is we have federal bond, we have corporate bond. So corporate bond is corporations who need money. They issue a document saying that there's a bond out there, mop up money through us that are investing, and they pay us at the end of the day. That's how bonds work. So when federal government needs money, they are broke, they don't want to go to World Bank, they issue bonds. So what they are saying is that this money that you're investing, we're going to use it for this, and then we'll give you 17%, 16%. That's how it works. Mutual fund is basically the market. It has nothing to do with federal government. It's just the market. So what we call money markets. So there are fund managers. There are people called fund managers who are trained to take money. So mutual fund is like somewhere. You don't have to do that. They take your 5,000. If it's 5,000, you came. Mr. B came with 10,000. Mr. C came with 1,000,000. They put everybody's money together and trade with it. Do business with it. Let me use that word. They do business with it. Help you look for different investment that can yield, and then you will get the returns. So you don't bother your head with where the money is going to. The only thing is that as this mutual fund is also affected by the market. So whatever market happens in the market, affect the returns that you get. For example, the day Trump coughs, mutual funds in dollars might go down. The day is happy, it might go up. So I'm just giving that example. So also the Naira own. So mutual fund has nothing to do with federal government. Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm just going through the chat box to see any questions we haven't taken. Okay, someone is asking what are the best investments to go into?
Okay, so I'll just go over it. There are two things I said before. High returns, high risk, low returns, low risk. So your risk profile, meaning that how much risk can you stomach? If you can do high returns, high risk, then you should look at buying shares. I bought shares before, and the returns I got helped me to buy 2 acres of land. It's not something I thought of. I'm telling you real facts. And I bought shares before, and everything dropped. But the good thing about what I've done in the past is because I understand how shares works. So I can wait and keep buying when the market is not good. Okay, so if you have stomach for high returns, please go for shares immediately. You make money 100% sometimes. In fact, with that exaggeration, I've made 200% before. Okay, but if you don't have stomach for high risk, the low risk investments comes with low returns, which will give you 12%, 15%, 10%. Those are treasury bills, mutual funds, FGM bond, and even savings. So categorize yourself, you know yourself, and pick the ones that you need to pick.
Okay, is it necessary for a will to be bound by a lawyer? Okay, I think if a lawyer doesn't, what's this person? I'm sorry. Is it
Okay,
necessary?
I think
You
I understand
understand?
what the person is
All
trying
right.
to say. Okay, like I said, there are families who have just written something and signed it and kept it by themselves, hoping that somebody will find it. Or maybe they have a chance at life, they were sick, so they could hand over the paper. That's people that have a chance at life. Some people don't have chance at life. They went out in the morning, they died, and there was no paper to be handed over. So you can actually do that. I've also seen people who have done videos and say, if you are watching this video, it's because I'm no longer the house in Ikeja is for Shola, this one, The problem about those things, however, is if you now have a child that decides to contest it, that's where the problem is, because they are really not valid documents. As long as there's no lawyer signing, there's no probate. They're actually documents. They become invalid the moment you get somebody, one of your beneficiaries, contesting it. That's just the caveat. I hope you understand that.
Oh, could you take that again, please?
Okay, let me go over it again. So you can have a document. One day you feel that something is going to happen. You write out all your assets, your jewelries, your stocks, your houses, and you put the name of the beneficiaries and you sign. You don't have to take that anywhere. You can keep it anywhere. And if you have a chance at life, that means you had prolonged sickness. We don't want that. Or you had a premonition that is going to happen. You hand it over to your children, you sit them down, you distribute, and that's fine. If you don't have a chance at life, you don't do that. That's the essence of a will. Then I've seen people who do videos and record themselves and say, okay, if you are looking at this video, that means I'm no longer. So the house at Ikeja is for Shola, the house at Ikorodu is for this, the jewelry in the bank is for this person. And they keep it somewhere and they are able to give it to the people. The only problem with this style of distributing your assets is if somebody challenges it, because it's not valid, those examples I just gave you, unless a lawyer is involved and is kept in probate.
Okay.
Do you understand? But if you have a chance and you say, okay, if I'm 80 or if I'm 70, I want to do this, no matter what, so that my kids will not have to go through the process of probate. Because when they want to actually take what is theirs from probate, they will still pay the government. So if you want to save them that as well, you might just do those things and just distribute to them.
All right, thank you. Which is better, treasury bills or fixed deposits?
Treasury bills is tax free, fixed deposit is tax. So depending on what you want. However, I have seen people that prefer fixed deposit because they can also use that tax for something else. Many people don't ask for their tax documents when they do fixed deposit. I notice they don't ask for it because it can save you from paying another tax. So it depends on what you want, really. Both of them are fantastic. Treasury bills, however, is that it comes in days. You can say 90 days, 180 days, 260 days, 6 months, you get your return. Fixed deposit, you can fix for 1 month and get your money back and your returns. You can fix for 1 year and explain to the bank that you want returns every month. There's a way they will structure it for you. So it depends on what you want to. If you want a return that comes every month, I will advise fixed deposit. If you just have some money that you want to put in treasury bills because it's tax free, and you might get 90 days one today, and 90 days is not always available. You can get 260, 300 days, depending on when.
Okay. Is it compulsory to can you keep your will, or is it compulsory you keep it with a lawyer?
Oh, you must have a copy as well. But some clients have told me they don't ever want a copy because it can get into the wrong hands. But it's in the law that you should have a copy and your lawyer must have a copy. Probate automatically will get a copy.
How do I invest gratuity in treasury bills?
Okay, so I don't know. The number of banks I mentioned for FGM bond, they also do treasury bills. Okay. There's something I can do. When treasury bills is offered, I can send a prompt to Ms. Roland. She will prompt the group and they can go to their bank. And so what they will do when you get to the bank, your money is already maybe in another bank or is the same bank. When treasury bills is issued, they will give you a form. They will show you the number of days they will keep your money, the returns you will get at the end or in the beginning. So there are two options. Some people like to get their interest upfront. So I put in 5 million, I put in 1 million, I put in 50,000. I want to get maybe 5,000 upfront because that interest is what I want to quickly use. And then the treasury bills continue. Then at the end of it, you get your money back, right? Some people want to wait till the end of the tenure of the investment. So those are just the two options. They'll give you a form, you fill the form. Because I don't subscribe to people who are much older to use apps these days because they are prone to a lot of, but people like me and others, we use app to just invest because we have an app, AfriInvest have an app and all of that. You just click on it, invest when it comes, and then the money moves and then your interest is counting. So if you want to walk to a bank that does treasury bills, they'll give you a form you fill, they will explain to you, do you want your interest upfront or at the end of the investment? If you want it upfront, your interest will drop immediately in that account and the investment will continue to run till expiry date. Okay, somebody said treasury bill is on. I purchased last week at Access Bank and GT. I do it every year. Somebody just chatted that. Okay, Access and GT. Okay, fantastic.
Okay, someone is lodging a complaint. I know this doesn't concern us, but it can help some of us. I'm really disappointed in buying shares because of nasty experiences Oh, sorry, let me say that again. I'm really disappointed in buying shares because of nasty experiences I had. My second, uh-oh. My second, okay, but the person doesn't like buying shares because of nasty experiences. Everything was just a waste. Okay, well,
Mm.
I guess
Okay.
that's the person's experience.
Okay. Before now, can I speak to that? Sorry.
Yes, of course, go ahead, please.
Before now, the advent of technology, we were doing paper investment with stocks. So our parents used to, they will see IPO. IPO is a public offer. So everybody sees it. Oh, UBA, First Bank is doing, and then we go to our banks and fill a form. And then dividends are sent to our box. I don't know if there are people that are old enough to remember that. I see my parents do it, so I remember. I sent to a box. You look at the box. Oh, you have dividends. You take that paper to your bank. It becomes
Yes,
money, and then that's
yeah.
all. But now technology is so advanced that we do it on the app. And then, so people that bought those days, right now, they're unable to track where their shares is. So they are frustrated. They are not happy. And then it's a long process to even try, which, well, I encourage anybody to please track your shares. There's a link that you go to. You get the registrar who's in charge of those shares. They pull it out for you. If you want to sell, you sell immediately, or they first of all pay you all your past dividends. So that's by the way. The other side of it is that some people got discouraged because they kept saying that they lost money, stock is a scam. I can tell you for free that I've never lost money in stock markets. I've never. Because there are things that you should know. You don't invest in stock market just because you feel like. You should have a guide. And there are basic guides you should know. When the stock is low, you buy. When it's high, you sell. That's for those people who want to do for the short term. For those people who want to do for the long term, say 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. When it's high, you can take profit. Taking profit means that if you bought at 100 naira, it's now 200. Take the difference between your 100 and 200 and leave the 100 and let it take that profit and put it in another asset, maybe a land or another shares, and let the 100 start to grow again. What people forget is that stocks are real companies. They exist. So real companies have challenges now and then, so their prices can drop. That is not the time to quickly go and sell. In fact, when prices drop, I buy more. That gives you more units. And the other thing about stock is that you are not just you doing buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You are also building a shareholder portfolio for yourself. I learned stock trading from my grandfather as young as 8 years old. And what he did with it was to create directorship for his children because of his stock holding. It was not even about money. So there's a lot involved, depending on what you want. He created a lot. So he became major shareholders of various companies, and those companies now offer his children, one of them was my mom, directorship. So once you have a stock, you are a shareholder of that company. Even if it's one, you can vote, you can attend meetings, you can make decisions. So people just see stocks as I buy and sell and buy and sell. Once I'm not able to sell, I've lost money. So just clear what your objectives are. However, if your objective is buy and sell, when it drops, don't panic. You buy more. Because that means you cannot afford to buy more units. Stock trading is a class for another day.
Okay, we might call you back again to explain that further. All right. So, can you please share the link? I hope it's not a long one.
Which link is that now?
To check for to trace your shares.
Shares.
Can you
Okay.
give us that, please?
I should share it on this. Give me a second.
Yes.
I'm sharing it now. Let me check my phone. 1 second. Link. So while I'm doing that, I also want to say that if you are checking, if you are married and you use your maiden name to do it, make sure that's what you use. Don't use your married name and say that you can't find your name. Okay, so that's what you should use. Non-mandated dividends. Okay, so from this, what you first of all see is that the stocks that you have, then you now have to approach your registrar. So each stock has its own registrar, and they will be the one. So I'm sharing it now. Where's my WhatsApp? They will now be the one to help you process. And the first thing they will do is to pay you all your past dividends, and then you will now make a decision when you meet whether you want to sell the whole stock itself or not. Zoom. Okay, charts. Okay. So this is the link. Once you click on it, you will see your name. So just type in your name. So just type in several names. If you are Olufunmilayo Akande, Olufunmilayo may not come in. Maybe it's Funmilayo you use. Some people have forgotten. So just type in your different names. You will see them there if you have. Oh yes, you can do that. 20 years. I even saw my parents' shares. I'm surprised that we still have it on there. I thought we have worked on it. And my dad has been late for 25 years now. So you can get your shares.
Okay, so please go to the chat box. She has shared the link. Because if I call it out, we might not get the exact
So I'll share it again.
letters.
Doesn't get missing in the chat.
All right.
Somebody sent, okay, let me wait for you.
No, it's fine. You can go ahead if you've seen anyone.
Somebody saw talking about sukuk. I just want to touch on that. There are certain investments that are suitable for practicing Muslims. So because the law says something against interest. So those sukuk, sorry if I'm not calling it right, investment, we call it ethical investment. So very few banks offer it. So you can look it up. They are suitable for Muslims who are not supposed to earn interest or something like that. So they're available. Christians also invest in it because for them it's ethical and they can do business with it. Yeah.
If someone has a lawyer not known by the kids, by the children, how will the children know when if the parent dies, how will the children know the lawyer who helped to prepare the
The
will?
interesting thing is that the children are not supposed to know the
to
lawyer
know.
self.
Exactly.
As long as the lawyers know them, they keep track. They'll just call somebody one day and say, oh, we heard your dad is, even the person, how did you know my dad is late? And then we say,
Exactly.
okay.
Well, how will you authenticate to the lawyer? How will you know the lawyer is real?
Okay, the other thing you can do is if he claims that he's a lawyer, he has a will, you can verify from probate. Anybody can walk into probate and ask if their father has a will. So you show your ID that you are the child and all of that. They open it up. So whatever you have, and the lawyer has the same thing, but the probate will not release it because they will ask you if you have had a meeting with the lawyer of your father. But that's the only way to verify. Once the probate has a copy, that's the only way.
This is an interesting one. Although you've talked about recording of the will,
Okay.
even the recording may be contested due to the emergence of AI now. So how would you verify that?
So, that's what I said. I said people
Yeah.
do these things,
Mm.
but as long as nobody contests it, it's free to go, but it's open to contest. But imagine that even a valid will is open to contest. There's a family that has been contesting their father's will for almost 40 years now. They have not even distributed anything. They are still fighting. Some of them are
Wow.
dead already. So not to
Wow.
talk of the one that is just a video. So if nobody contests it, I'm happy for the family. But the day somebody writes it and say, no, that's not my father in that video. Or they put a gun on his head when he was doing it. Then the court will start doing his work. And if the court says it's invalid, the state government is going to chop all the assets.
What makes people contest will? Well, I guess greed. But please, you can take that. What makes people contest
It's not
will?
so much as greed, though. Sometimes children suspect themselves. They think that their father loves this one. So they think that that particular child is one that pressured their father. And sometimes when the will don't go their way, there are some kids that feel that they're entitled to a lot from their parents. So when they read the will and the will is saying that the last one should take it all. Okay, let me just share a very personal thing. So there was a time my dad was ill and told my mom that because I was a lawyer, he wants to give me everything, that I will have the sense to distribute. Hey, my mother screamed, say, oh, you want to kill my daughter? Because I was the last born. Why would you want to give me everything because I was studying law? So my mother kicked against it and said, if you want to give anything, just give them now. You have correct children. They will not fight. Give them now. Don't give anything to my daughter. So if he had given me everything, I'm sure my elder ones would be like, kí ló ṣe sí daddy? Atẹ́gùn wo ló fẹ́ sí daddy? Sorry for people who don't understand Yoruba. And they will contest it and say, no, you are last born out of 6 children. Why should he give it to you? But they won't realize that he just wanted me to administer it because he saw that there was a lawyer in the house. But so things like that happen. When one of the beneficiaries suspects there is a foul play, it's not always about greed. When they suspect there's a foul play, they say, this is not how my father will have done it. I know him. We must go to court. This is invalid.
All right, thank you. The number showing on the screen now is the facilitator's number, and I'm sure that's your WhatsApp number too.
Yes, madam.
Yes. So Mr. Yusuf SA, that's the facilitator's WhatsApp number. So you can send your questions to her, and the email too is there. She has said, please, no calls, just messages and email, and she will definitely contact you. The website address, please, it's in the chat box.
I can resend it. Maybe the chat has gone on. I'm resending it. That's it. I've shared it again.
We can't copy the link.
Oh.
You can quickly write it out.
Okay.
I'm sure we have like some 5, 7, 10 minutes before so you can write it out. Because of all the slash, that's why I don't want to read it out, so you know where the dots and things like that. Okay, so let me check for other questions. What if the lawyer dies before the owner of the of the will? What would happen?
Probate never dies. Probate is an office that people go in and come out. So can approach the probate, or your children can approach the probate. And then one of the reasons why people, maybe the more educated, I can say, do publicity when their parents die is because of these things. So lawyer is trying to be funny. We have a notice that, oh, this person is dead, I need to approach the family. Or the probate can write his message. Probate don't do that. They don't do that regularly, but 1 or 2 cases, because they have a lot on their neck. So that's why some people actually do newspaper publication that their parent is dead because of that.
Okay, yes. The contact is 080-234-08030. It's on the picture. I'm sure you can see her picture. It's on the slide showing right now. Her number is the last thing there. It's after the email. I don't know what you can see, Mr. Yusuf. Okay, no, A3R Seminar Initiative. I don't know if you got that. Her number is showing on the screen right now. Thank you. Okay, iPhone. Can you please go ahead? You raised your hand. Your name is not
Yes,
showing. Okay, all right.
yes. This is Mrs. Kolawole talking. Thank you so
Afternoon.
much, Sister Lara Garuba. Well done.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask this question. In case there is a trust on our children, and we have properties,
Yes, ma'am.
and we just tell them all we have, and there is no controversy. What's the risk after one is gone with the children? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not clear about the question. Okay, are you trying to say when you have a trust for the children and you tell,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so
And not
for
really done.
okay, for trust, once you have told them, they will approach the trustee and give all the I'm sure in that trust you'll have given conditions on how your children can approach and all of that. Conditions as per ID, are they your real children? Are they this and all that? There are certain conditions that people put in trust. Some people put that nothing should be distributed until my last born is 18, all those kind of things. So if those conditions are there, the trustees will sit them down and explain to them. If it's immediate distribution, the trustees is big enough to distribute immediately. So since you have told the children, of course, when one is not there, they will approach the trustee.
Sorry, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, is there any threat to these children if it is not documentary or documented?
Okay, if it's not documented, then you are giving them the right to use their discretion. That's okay. If you feel that their discretion is fine, that's okay. That's okay. But the only thing is that they will have a lot of problem when they want to sell. Because when you don't have a will, the children will have to do letter of administration. Letter of administration means that because most of the documents are still in your name, except you change the document to their name already. So when they want to sell, any buyer that sees it and says, you are Tunji something, this document is something else, okay? They have to do letter of administration. It's not impossible, but it's a long process. They go to court, they do this, they go to the bank, they sign so many documents to say that the owner of the property is now dead and he has given it to this person. So what you will have done, they will start to do. That's the only thing. There's no threat at all. But if they don't want to sell, and maybe it's a property they are just enjoying the rent, it's okay. They will keep enjoying the rent as long as they are alive as well.
Thank you, ma.
Yes.
All right, I
But let
think
me
someone
quickly
has
add to also access your account while they are not there, they need letter of administration. All banks will ask for that. The other thing my own mom did before her death was she knew that death was coming, so she called me and our firstborn and then changed all accounts to our signatures. So we didn't have to go through that stress. So, and then she took us to the branch managers of all the banks, changed all the signatures to mine and my sister. And that was, so she cut away all the data administration and all of that.
All right, someone has clicked on the link you shared, but
Okay.
I think as at the time before the father died, there was no BVN. So we're asking for, he's been asked for the BVN. So how would he resolve this?
He's being asked for BVN. Okay, let me do it because he doesn't do that. It doesn't ask for BVN. I don't know if it's the same link. I just did it again. I just put Garuba and it's giving me all the Garubas there. It's giving me the company that I bought from and operator. So it's operator that you will now go and meet. That it doesn't ask for BVN from this link.
No,
ePortal.org.
the shares belong to the late dad. It's not his. The person
Yes,
is
that's
the owner of the. Okay.
okay. So you should put the dad's surname. I be one name. Just for now, you cannot say what you use, but if you can say put the surname, several surnames will come out. Just keep strolling until you find the one that's your dad. You will see shareholder, company, and operator. Operator means those are the ones that the shares are sitting with. If you click on operator, which is the only clickable thing there, it takes you to a portal. But I don't want you to, okay, I know what you did. I don't want you to use that portal. You go to their office. For example, let me go back to what I saw. Okay, I know what he did. He already clicked on the operator. So there's an operator here. Let me just give an example. So once you put your surname on that ePortal sec.gov.ng, you see shareholder, company, operator. Operator is the only link that's clickable. Once you click the operator, it takes you to e-dividend mandate management. For the purpose of old shares, I don't want you to click that. Go to their office. Just put that's name of operator, put it on Google. Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, all the offices will be there. Go there and fill a form, please. If your shares are very old, go there and fill a form. Don't fill the next e-dividends where it takes you to. Sorry for the confusion. Don't fill where it takes you to because it's an old shares. I don't subscribe to that. If it's just a present share now, you can do that. Go to their office, just click, copy it, go to Google. All the offices will come out wherever it is in Nigeria. Go there and sort it out. But you must know that anything that belongs to a late person that doesn't have a will, that was not written in a will, you must do a letter of administration. Even for your late father's shares, you must do letter of administration.
Okay, you just answered that question because someone asked, how can you access shares of a dead relation?
Anything that has to do with a dead relation that the person would not do a will for, you must do a letter of administration. So what I always advise is that just do one letter that covers all the person's assets, house, bank account, shares, and then that's the same letter you'll be using to access all of these assets.
Okay, thank you. The recording of this session would be sent to the retirees platform, but you can also go to our YouTube channel. It's Retirees Cooperative. I'll put it in the chat box already anyway, but it's retireescooperative.ms. All small letters, retireescooperative.ms. So you type that, you click on it, and it will take you to this particular session and the previous ones that we've had. So all the sessions we've had in a very long while, you would see them all there. All right, someone says he has done his, I'm not sure if it's okay, the lady. She said she's done hers. All right, congratulations.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Okay, it's now 12:14. We've gone past our time. That's very good. At
Sorry.
least. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We can even go on till 2 o'clock if we have more questions, right? Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for joining. But before we let our facilitator go, can someone please thank our facilitator on behalf of everyone. Oh, okay. Before we do that, please, another question. A share bought in one's child's name as a minor, how do you recover it? Can you please quickly take that?
Okay, two things. Now we can't buy shares in minor, but I think that share was bought when it was paper. Two things. If the minor now is an adult that has a BVN, it can be traced through the name and the. If not, you will have to track the operator of that share. So for GT shares, it's Datamax that manages. For Zenith, it's Zenith Register. So that's what I mean by operator. So Google it. Once you get the operator, find the address and go to them with the child's birth certificate, your own ID card. Then you can trace it.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. I don't know if it's Ma or Sir. Okay, iPhone. Do you want to say something?
I'm just thanking her for that.
Oh,
And
okay.
if
Thank you,
it's
ma'am.
to
Please
say,
go ahead.
and if it's time to appreciate her,
Yes.
I need to do that. I want to do that.
No problem, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Good day, everyone, and our ever serving departments. Thank you so much, Mrs. Roland,
Yes, ma'am.
and the governor and the PSO, and a very big thanks to our dear facilitator, a professional, Sister Lara Garuba. In fact, you are really taking away so many burdens. We thank you on behalf of everyone, all the permanent secretaries present, all the retirees. We say a very big thank you for a job well done. Thank you for the relief, and we pray more successes in your journey of life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you, ma.
Thank you so much, Ma. I'm so honored to be here. And I don't take this session for granted at all. And I'm hoping that we all receive value and then we'll work on our 90-day action plan. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Madam Garuba. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Temitayo Olotu, do you have a question or something?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I really appreciate the presenter. You promised us that you are going to send the link of retiree. We have not seen it on our chat box.
the link of what?
The retirees.
Yes, ma.
You promised us that you are going to send it on the chat box. We have not seen it.
What link, ma? I'm sorry. It's YouTube.
Retiree platform.
Yes.
Yes, you said you will send the link.
The link
on the
of what,
YouTube.
ma?
Retirees platform.
I think she's talking about a YouTube channel.
The
I think.
YouTube channel.
Okay, YouTube. I've put
Yes.
it in the chat box. I just did that now.
No,
Okay.
now.
I've even sent it twice.
Separately.
Okay, thank you, ma.
Okay, all right, you're welcome, ma. Have you seen it now?
Let's
To
go
check
there.
now.
You will see it there.
Okay,
It's
please
there.
check.
It's have been sent separately.
I just sent another one again.
Making it
So-
about 5 times.
Is there, man. That is the public service cooperative retirees.
Exactly, yes. So just type it out and it will bring that's our channel. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. It's now 12:20 p.m. So thank you for joining us today. And in another 2 weeks, by God's grace, we'll have another interesting one. But we're even looking forward to seeing Lashma staff. I'm not promising that, but because the last person we had, didn't do so much justice. So we're looking forward to seeing that another staff from Lashma. So hopefully that's the organization we'll call next. So please invite your friends, tell them, that that's what we would have on for our next webinar session. All right, thank you everyone once again. So you can please unmute yourselves and your videos and say hello to one another as we usually do.
Sorry, Mrs. Roland, I've sent you
Yes,
the
ma'am.
list of the big 30 so you can share it. Thank
Okay,
you.
on WhatsApp?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I know you're waiting for the link, but I don't know how I'm going to send that immediately before we end, but I will try my best.
He's coming.
Oh, it hasn't dropped.
Yes.
It hasn't dropped, ma'am.
It could have been uncomfortable.
Can you see it now?
Okay, it's dropped. Let me see if I can just.
Saturday. Okay. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ kú ọrọ̀ òbí o. Lọ wá dá òyìn tó kù sí o. Àní rírú ẹ̀ mọ́ lórúkọ Jésù. Pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀. Elizabeth ti fa báyìí ẹ.
Anyway, we'll still send it to the link. Okay, it's open. I will just paste it. I hope we'll be able to see it, but we'll still send it on the retirees list platform. Sorry.
Better. Not stress yourself. We'll get that one later.
I hope it's a good time for me to leave.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you can. I'm sorry. You can.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
I'll call you. All right. Bye. Thank you so very much. Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, I've
Bye-bye.
sent it to the link, to the chat box. I don't know if we can see it.
You see it, you can see it, but it's not
So the
smart.
big 30.
It's a lot.
Yes, you can screenshot it if that's possible. Or you just pick some of them. But like I said, we'll still send it on the platforms. So those of us that can screenshot, you can do that.
Thank you. Tell my address.
So I'll give us just like 2 minutes to write what we can before we end the meeting.
Okay. Yes, indicators on the change. Let's change.
Well, ilé kí wo lẹnu ẹ̀ gan-an kí ń lè ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí.
Osin Wema. Skybank. Skybank. Big Skybank. Yeah, this Skybank. Yes. The beginning of Skybank.
Transcorp PLC.
There is no Skybank. Show me EcoBank. Oja. I sent it to her. Yeah. It has been chatted. Entire Skybank. The report engines.
Okay, everyone, it's 12:30 now. I would have to end the call, but we thank you for joining, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time by God's grace. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mrs.
everyone.
Roland.
Yes, ma'am. All right, ma'am.
You're welcome.